Hey Vinyl community, Steve here, FlipSideCT, and thank you for joining me. And as you could tell, this is a trip I did September 2018 with my work. Went down to Houston, checked out a few stores, and I got some videos to show you. And this is the most I spent in a couple stores, I would have to say. So excited to show you these, and some interesting ones. My last video was my San Diego trip back in August, so some stores there and video footage. You could check that out, prior video. And so when I landed, I got my car, found my hotel, and put everything away in 10 minutes, and I knew where I was going. To Vinyl Edge down in Houston, northern part of Houston. Barack P. Dub, Paul told me it's one of his favorite stores, and I knew I had to check it out, and I could see why it's just one of his favorite stores. Here's some video footage. Let's check it out. Make you squirm. I'm gonna open that can of worms. Guy going down on it, gonna make that baby squirm. So as you could see, very cool store, very big store. Since 1985, the owner was really cool. We were both from Jersey, similar age, talked about music, talked about the concerts there. We probably crossed paths somewhere, but really engaging guy, very cool. The album selections he had were really cool. You could spend a whole day there just thumbing through things. The workers were really nice. A lot of reissues of Prog and Psych, like it should be for the customers, even though it's not like a moneymaker volume selling thing. So he knows how to do it, and that's what some of the store owners should follow. You know, get stuff for the people. Anyway, so I'll jump in here and show you what I got. One album is Patti Smith Horses, recorded in 2016, 40th anniversary of Horses. She recorded this live in front of a small audience in the studio with some fans and friends. Sound is superb. Yeah, it's the album of Horses. Why should I get it? It's really good, really good to have if you're a Patti Smith fan and part of that time and piece and culture. Really enjoy it. I'm so glad I spent a few dollars on it, put it that way. Harold Budd, ambient he's in that smooth ambient sound. Those of you who know him know what I mean. Those of you who don't, just cool, smooth. I call it ambient, ambient, just relaxing music. He did a live piece here, 13 songs dedicated to a friend of his that died. If it's a cool, snowy, rainy day, you're in front of a fire, reading a book or talking to people, that's what this album is. I've done this before. I'm going to play you a clip from a soundtrack. What kind? I'll do you a hint. It's a late 60s movie. Oh gosh. I don't want to give anything away. Just see if you could figure this music out. Try it. Okay, so I saw this in 1968. I saw it back to back the same day. I was so impacted with it, I named my frog Taylor. It's Planet of the Apes, the original. This is the fold out. He had this for $20. I couldn't believe he had it. Charlton Heston writes up and says how important the music was for this movie. And it's so damn true what it did for this movie. I always was fascinated with the sounds, not just the movie itself, even back then. And I have to own this. So hopefully you got that. Anyone who doesn't know the original Planet of the Apes, see the original Planet of the Apes. You should be able to say that was great, that was cool. It could still fit in today. Anyway, Hawaii hi-fi sounds, just some great hits here. You never know when you're in some Hawaiian music and you want to sip a pineapple. I went into another store. That was it for Vinyl Edge. Yeah, and I went into another store and it's called Sound Revolution. It was nearby the next day, and two young kids worked there, maybe young 20s. We spent maybe half hour, 45 minutes just yapping and bullshitting. These kids were so cool. They knew about everything about punk. We were turning each other on, playing the music over YouTube. You know, listen to this, listen to that. And we had a blast. I did buy one album. I did need Monkey's Head. And Christian and Cody were really cool. I had a real blast with these kids. One of them was in a Screamo band, and he was playing me the songs. I said, you know, you better get out of that, please. He goes, yeah, that's Stepping Stone. Anyway, Screamo. So I went to another store, which is in the south of Boston. I was going to go into a little rant on this guy. He was really a zero social skill man. Who knows how, what, why, where, whatever. Maybe bad day, but I do have to say he had nothing to interact. Zero. Not hellos with me, maybe one or two other people. The only conversation was at the cash register. The name of the place was Deep End, and it's pretty new. Eclectic music in there. He has an art gallery also, which was not open. I did buy the Waterboys, 1985, I think, a pagan place. So, was happy about that. Going home, I stopped at Cactus Records. I was there before. Didn't have a good experience, not a good time there. I didn't buy anything. I said, let me try. Big store. A lot was going on. I took a deep breath and I went after this, and there was a lot there. Great prog section with used albums. Just sections and sections of things that were really well stocked, well done. Bad blues and punk, I will say that. But when I saw this album, I I knew I had to get it because if you buy it, the original, it's about $170. The Stones, Voodoo Lounge from '94. This is, they just reissued 17 of their albums, remastered, half speed or something. It's about $370. This was $40. I couldn't leave it. And this is not a favorite for Stones fans. It's a double album, and it's on Virgin. The first album to me is really good. Second album, I'm not so crazy about. The lyrics are a little weak here. Let me share a story with you though about Voodoo Lounge. I worked near Secaucus Giant Stadium back in the 90s. Nearby, as official, I dressed professional. I had a little tag, and I was able to get into Giant Stadium and walk in during lunch. I would go. I would watch the Giants practice and meet them. I'd be low key and just they wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't bother them. But one day I went and I knew the Stones were playing with their Voodoo Lounge tour at the stadium. And I got in. I went my route. Went down to the tunnel area and got to the backstage. I was by myself. The rooms was dark except for like incandescent, some lamps with red scarves hanging on. We're talking Voodoo Lounge, some creepy feeling type stuff, atmosphere they wanted, pool tables, video pinball machines, little bars. And another room, same type of setup. I don't know if each band member had rooms, but it was like room after room after room. And I was there by myself. Didn't touch a thing. Just was smiling ear to ear, enjoying the shit out of what I was just witnessing. And I couldn't share with anybody. The time I got back, I told my wife, oh my God. It's just really cool just to be there in that atmosphere. So Out of Tears is on this album. Could be one of the top 10 Stones songs for me ever. Just beautiful, beautiful song. If you haven't heard Out of Tears, put it on and listen. It's one of those beautiful ballads. And Love Is Strong, You Got Me Rockin', Sparks Will Fly, The Worst, New Faces. The other ones I'm not so crazy about. But this is what Don Was. Bill Wyman just left. Charlie recommended Darryl Jones, the new bass player, played with 5 years with Miles Davis, so he had some good credentials. What was beautiful about his playing was he played on the bottom, below everybody. He didn't want to bring himself up top and compete with them. He knew how and what to do.
Darryl is one of those people that is very easy to work with and very pleasant to be around. He's a very nice man.
As soon as Darryl walked in, I remember I was drinking at the time, and I said, come on, Darryl, come and try this. I gave him a Guinness.
Ronnie, in his way, really welcomed me with open arms by just, introducing himself and saying, hey, man, you want a Guinness? And I was like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? So that was our way of, that was his way of really welcoming me, which was, it's really, really wonderful thing.
Darryl is, the most solid cat. My solid left arm, is to play with. Incredible. He's an incredible musician. Anyway, and as Darryl said to me the other day, that, am I still the new boy? It's been 21 years.
Before they recorded this, Ronnie, Mick and Keith were doing their solo albums, Main Offender, Wandering Spirit, and so they were ready. They had this energy, they had some playing, and they had the mojo, and they recorded, they did pre-work in Barbados, they did some stuff in recording in LA and New York City, but they also did stuff at in Ronnie's new house in Ireland. I guess he might have been married, and I don't know. Anyway, so they were recording at his new place, and I guess somebody had told him, you know, guys, got to play quietly because the horses are going to get spooked. So Keith said, okay. So he just turned his amp down to 8 instead of 10. So I still thought that's funny. It's still loud. Voodoo Lounge, and there's my story. And like I said, it's Don Was and his first interaction with them. And this is sort of a bridge from Steel Wheels still. And I had to get this one. $40 also. Same thing. 2018 half-speed remastered. September 97. They started in 96 to work on it. February 97 they worked on it in New York City. Also Keith's home in Connecticut, they did work on it. Then in LA, March and July 97 is when they finished it up. It is a progression from Voodoo Lounge, and it's a bit of a jump again. It's another level. It's got a lot of energy. I don't think this is as strong as Voodoo for me, and the Stones love this one though. The songs are really independent of each other. Out of Control is mind blowing. It's just a phenomenal song. Say to Me, Gunface, Too Tight. Here's another story. So I got an opportunity to go to a conference in Chicago. Stones happened to be opening that week, and didn't have a ticket. I knew I was going, and I was going to find something. So I get to Soldier Field, and just asking, looking around, seeing, just getting a feel for it, getting the vibe. And I go by the security guard and just analyzing the situation, and maybe I could just, but it was tough. So just as the door was just maybe 5 feet away from me and over there, and I just turned around, and just as I turned around, I saw a camera go by my head. And I just spun around, went behind the guy in the camera, and walked right in with them. No ticket, just in, there you go. I'm in. Now what? Now I better find the ticket stub. So I'm looking on the ground. I find maybe 20 stubs. Yeah, the people are drinking already. And I grab the stub. I find $20 here. I find $20 there. $10 here. I buy a hat, buy a shirt. I'm all set. By myself, though. Now I gotta find a seat. Now, in the good old days, when you went to a concert, when you went to close up, there was no one sitting. It was just, the pit was just rammed with people, and you could just go up and just be up there. As long as you got right by the guards, you were in. You didn't have to worry about being kicked out. Not at this time. That doesn't happen. Some of you old folks know what I mean. You know, it was a free-for-all, and it was fun. So they had the B stage, which was in the middle of the stadium, sort of the second section. That's where I was. I found a seat 2 rows from the B stage. What can I say? It was just mind-blowing, unbelievable experience by myself, little buzzing, yeah. But I was going with Mick, I forgot what songs, Route 66, I don't know, but it was just, the energy just boom, comes right off on you, and I was just buzzing from that. I mean, my head was just numb.
I ought to take it, if she can dance, we can make it, come on Queenie, and let's shake it.
Anyway, that's my Bridges Babylon story. That's a great memory. Glad I got those 2 albums. I am a big Mott fan. Live 2013. They did a reunion tour. They recorded this up in Manchester Apollo. Dale Griffin didn't play drums. He was ill. Martin Chambers from the Pretenders played drums. They didn't really practice, but this is still a tight album.
All the way from Memphis.
It's a double album. The song list is just killer. I'm a Mott fan. It doesn't matter. I love this. Really glad to get this. I recommend it. The sound is really good. Mott the Hoople Live 2013. And my last one, tying into Mott, to Ian Hunter, Rock Blast with Mick Ronson, the band and featuring Mick Ronson. They had this also. I couldn't believe it. I picked it up. That's why I'm saying I spent the most money I ever did at a store. This is from 1980 show, German TV, Rock Palace. They recorded this and they put this to vinyl. I think this is from 2011, but anything Mick Ronson, almost anything. Ian Hunter, love it. So just some Mick songs, Ian songs, Mott songs. That's what I got, VC. I hope you enjoyed that. You got something out of it. Maybe you'll buy something. Let me know if you do. Cool. I'm going to Houston next week for my wife for business. I will probably hit Cactus again. I had a blast there. Might be tough for Vinyl Edge. Have a good one, a good safe one, and always listen to your music. Take care. Bye-bye.